Alright guys, so I'm going to start going over what I'm going to be installing on my car today. So I ordered a short throw shifter from GKTech. It's the V2 series. It's for SR, CA, KA. Anyway, so this is the base plate right here. It's anodized billet aluminum. Looks really, really nice. It's actually a shame that you're not going to be able to see this when it's installed, but yeah. And this is the boot collar. Basically this sits up here and it holds your boot in place over this conical piece right here. And this is the base piece. This is the plastic base piece. Now the older kits didn't actually come with this piece. I'm glad they started including this so you don't have to, look for too many parts from your old shifter. You will need the cup and I'll go over that later. But yeah, this little base comes with the kit. And what's actually kind of cool now is they supply this brass bushing. So before they didn't. You just need to make sure you lube this little bad boy up, but yeah, they do actually come with these in their kits. And then over here, we have the set screw that holds this piece in place and the circlip that actually fits down inside of here. And then over here, that's kind of specific to what I'm doing. I'll show you that in a minute, but I bought a return spring kit from GKTech also. Again, pretty nice parts. It's a shame that you're not gonna be able to see them, but yeah, definitely nice quality. A nice little piece of kit. Comes with different size springs to adjust the tension. Might start out with a low to medium setup and just work my way from there. Probably start off medium, and if it's too light, then I'll go heavier, and if it's too heavy, then I'll go a little bit lighter. So we'll start with medium most likely. But a few things that are specific to my setup, since I bought some used parts and it didn't come with everything that I needed. So the transmission I have is actually a secondhand transmission from somebody. Or this boot from Nissan. This actually sits on top of here. Well, it goes that way, but yeah, sits on top of there, kind of cancels out some of the noise. You can check that boot out right there. That's the part number for it. Okay, there's that. And then my transmission also didn't have the clutch fork boot. So it's this piece right here. Again, SR, KA, CA. Part number for that. So let's put these over here, out of the way. And then I wasn't sure, I didn't have correspondence yet on this bushing piece. Like I said before, I didn't know if it actually came with that or not. I went ahead and ordered a new factory poly one. Some people actually prefer these. Some people like these a lot. Just because, I don't know, maybe the way they feel or sound, what have you, but that's the factory bushing, shifter bushing. And then the fill plug on my transmission was totally stripped. I was looking to get the female version, so this is the male version. I didn't know the difference. There was no picture of it. I was trying to figure out which one was male and female. I ordered a male on accident. These have a tendency to round off. If you can, try to get the female version of this, just because these are kind of a pain in the ass. So there's that. And then, of course, from courtesy Nissan, thanks to those guys, they're awesome. They'll actually sell you this ball, this shifter ball right here. This is the detent ball that goes inside the transmission case where the shifter is. And this is the spring right here. The part number is right there. If you can read it, hopefully, I'm not sure. But it's 3289-26760. That's just for the ball. I found this shifter spring at a junkyard and cleaned it up, and it's the same one that I need. But there's also part number for this. What's cool about courtesy Nissan is they'll break up the selection for this ball, because when you buy this ball from Nissan or Infinity, it comes in packs of 10, so you have to buy 10 at a time. But courtesy doesn't do that. They'll break it up for you and actually send them individually. So that was really helpful. But yeah, so this is the whole setup, and let's get started. All right, just for some posterity, this is the ball part number right up here, 3289-26760. So that gets you that ball. And then that spring is 32858-V5000. So those are the respective part numbers for each one of those things if you want to buy them new. I think this spring is like $2.70 and this ball's $1.50 or something like that. They're not very expensive. Also, I found this thing in just a dirty pile of parts. I know it's either a KA or an SR. By the looks of it, it's SR probably. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You need this cup right here. So this little cup inside of here is actually what this shifter ball sits in. So it'll sit like this basically. It sits in there, and then that this little piece right here sits on top like that. So, and then the circlip will go up there. So I'm gonna show you real quick how to remove this thing. It's pretty darn easy. Honestly, you just put a screwdriver in here, pull the circlip together, pop it out, and then pull this piece out. Super simple, but I'll show you real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to remove this shifter cup and the wave washer underneath it. Pretty simple way of doing it. You could fight with this thing all you want, but the circlip's a high tensile strength type deal, so it'll just keep springing back on you. Best way to do this is to take a smaller screwdriver and a little flathead, put it in here, pry the circlip away from the wall, and once you get it out of the wall, pull up on it with another screwdriver. Let me look at it first. I'm looking through the camera. Let me look through here. There you go. Okay. So once you get it to this point, all you're going to do is kind of just keep your screwdriver right here so it doesn't go back in, and you're going to lift, it comes right out just like that. Bam. And you don't have to worry about marring up the entire surface in case you ever want to put this back on. It comes out pretty easily. Now you can remove this cup, and there you have it. It's pretty darn dirty, so we're going to clean that up for sure. Grease this back up so it behaves like a new part, hopefully. And then don't forget this little guy, this little wave washer in here is what gives you your upward tension on the shifter, keeps it from rattling and making all kinds of noise. So make sure that you have this to go in your new GKTech setup. So yeah, so let's get going. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we're working with here. Went ahead and put up this little light real quick just so we can see what the heck we're doing in here. Here we go. So what you'll do is you'll come into your car, you'll pop this thing loose. It's pretty simple. You pull up from here first, get them unstuck, and then pull from here on the sides, and then kind of come in here and do this, and then it'll pop out like so. And then you'll remove the 4 10mm bolts holding this thing in. You can pop this little guy out. And then you have access to your transmission. So I have mine covered right now because I cleaned everything. I didn't want stuff falling in there. So let's pull this off. Yep. So then there it is. I already cleaned the part where the base mounts. As you can tell, my transmission is there. The transmission mount is not hooked up to the chassis yet. I have to rotate the engine just a little bit in its mounts. So I have a little adjustment to do there, but this actually gives me a little bit more room to work with here. As you can see, that's where the ball and the spring will go. Then put the RTV all the way around, and then clamp the base down, put the bolts in, wait about an hour, just have it hand tight, wait about 1 hour, and then I'll be able to tighten it down to full spec. And then I can replace these as well. Put a little bit of thread, not thread sealer, but some thread tape, and then lock the new ones in. And then there you go. I mean, I think this thing should be pretty straightforward. So right now I have the bolts, the cover plate bolts, sitting in a cleaning solution. It's kind of an acid solution to remove all the gunk from the bolts. But getting that done, while that's going, I'm gonna pre-lube the cup, the wave washer, and this bushing piece just to get it ready. So when I do go to install this plate with RTV on the bottom of it, I can at least let it set up, tighten everything down, and get going. So. With the RTV already spread on the base, I installed the ball, now the spring, and I'm going to put the base on just finger tight, just for now. I'll wait an hour and then I'll tighten everything back up. You're either going to get this on the first go or you're going to cuss a lot. This is kind of deceptive. This little bushing going into the shifter selector is sort of a pain if you don't get it right away. So just have patience. A wise woman once told me you can never have too much lube. So once you get this collar lubed up, you're going to go ahead and install the snap ring, and your shifter should be good to go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install this boot. As you can tell, the boot actually has a lip on the inside of it, and that lip sinks into the ring around this part right here. There's like a little indentation that goes all the way around for that lip to sit inside of, so you don't actually need a zip tie or anything like that. And this actually holds pretty tight, so you can put a zip tie up here, but you don't have to. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed. So the boot collar itself is fixed with that 4mm Allen head set screw. So use that and then a zip tie just to get the rubber boot secured to the actual collar itself. And there you have it, the freshly installed GKTech short throw shifter. I'm gonna take a 27mm socket on a breaker bar. Get up here, and break it loose like I already did. Just take this off. That'll come out. And then I'm gonna put in a medium spring. Pretty simple. And then I have a plug right here that's been wrapped with some thread tape. I'm gonna put over this. And I'll provide a torque spec for this, as well as the torque spec for the top bolts here. Alrighty, so there it is, the GKTech return spring setup right here. So I'm running the medium springs right now. Kind of sucked up under the car right now, but you just do the same exact thing on the other side and you're all set. Went ahead and installed the clutch fork boot, so that looks good. So we should be up and running pretty soon. Hopefully this video is helpful for you guys. Have a good one. Cheers.